You've got to be kidding me. The issue is with you. Why haven't you settled the payment for the accommodation? It's your fault. Since you left me, just bring the money here. I'm not paying, because I'm the one left behind. I didn't even want to go on that trip in the first place. My husband and I have been married for 6 years. Our 5-year-old daughter is the light of my life, and seeing her grow every day is the greatest joy I have. But my marriage is falling apart. I quit my job when our daughter was 1, and my husband told me that if I wasn't working, I'd have to handle all the housework. So, I did. I took care of everything, cleaning, cooking, and raising our child alone. When our daughter was a newborn, I barely slept. I begged my husband for help, but he said if I had a problem, he could divorce me anytime. He even showed me the divorce papers and kept them in a drawer, pulling them out whenever we argued, always threatening to leave. And my mother-in-law, who raised him, is just like him. Now, I've got some good news. My mother-in-law shows up unannounced, opens the fridge without asking, and starts eating my son's yogurt. She has a habit of dropping by at the most inconvenient times. If that was all she did, I might still tolerate it, but no, she lectures me on what a wife should be and picks at every speck of dust in the house. I've learned not to trust anything she says when she claims there's good news. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you happy about the good news? My son is right about you, she scolds. What good news? I ask, trying to stay calm. We're going on a trip, she announces. Where? I ask, already dreading what comes next. It's your job to decide. You're unemployed, after all, she snaps. I'm confused. What do you mean? Unbelievable. I'm doing this for my son, who works so hard, she says with a smug smile. I'm taking him on a surprise trip. A surprise? I repeat, incredulous. Yes, we'll all help him relax. I expect you to contribute, your daughter and you. Of course. It dawns on me, my mother-in-law wants to go on a trip with my husband, but she doesn't want to pay for it. Instead, she's inviting me and our daughter along, with the expectation that I'll foot the bill. Who in their right mind would agree to this? Not me, but we're struggling financially, so I'm in a bind. No, I'm not going, I say firmly. Let me think about it. After the conversation, I'm still uncertain. When my husband comes home later that night, he's clearly in a bad mood. He must have heard from his mother. I heard you didn't listen to my mom today, he says as soon as he walks in. I just told her the truth, I respond, defensive. You're saying we can't afford the trip? He demands. Yes, we don't have the money, I admit, the weight of our finances pressing down on me. My mom said it was a surprise. She already told you about it, he shouts. If we can't manage our finances, what's so surprising about it? It's your fault, I retort. You're saying I don't make enough money? He asks, his voice rising. Well, no, it's just, not much, I mutter. Unbelievable. Fine, I'm going on this trip, and you're planning everything. If you can't handle it, we're getting a divorce. Maybe we should just divorce now, I murmur, but the thought of how this will affect our daughter weighs heavily on me. What will Maya think? That's all I'm worried about. In the end, I'm forced to start searching for hotels, even though I'm still not sure if this trip is really happening. After my husband and mother-in-law talk, the requests get worse. I want a room with an open-air bathtub. The meals should be the most expensive, my mother-in-law demands. I'm horrified by the costs but know if I don't comply, I'll be subject to her constant sarcasm. Reluctantly, I follow through on all her demands. When she finds out, she's insufferably smug. It's because I suggested everything. It's thanks to me you even got the accommodation, she says, her tone full of pride. That evening, as usual, my husband starts lecturing me. I've put up with it for years, so I just let him go on. At least he doesn't unleash his sarcasm in front of our daughter, who he's too embarrassed to show his true self to. On the day of the trip, I'm in the driver's seat. I rented the car, and I'm driving it. My husband lounges in the passenger seat, acting like it's his right. My mother-in-law is in the back, chattering away to herself about souvenirs, not even acknowledging our daughter. I've been driving all morning, and neither of them offers to help. I'm not allowed a break. Finally, we stop at a service area because our daughter needs the bathroom. I hurry to take her inside and return to find the car gone. I scan the parking lot frantically but can't find it. I call my husband, but there's no answer. Then I call my mother-in-law. You're too late, she laughs, clearly enjoying this. We left without you. I explain that I'd only been gone for a minute, but my husband cuts me off. This is your fault. You don't obey me. You have no right to be on this trip. Was that your plan all along? I ask, heart sinking. What about our daughter, Maya? She's just like you. He snaps. She deserves a spanking, too, but since she's been looking forward to this trip, I'll think about it when you apologize. The call ends abruptly. What now? I mutter, realizing how far we are from home. Mom, are you okay? Did Dad and Grandma leave us? Maya asks, her innocence cutting through the tension. I guess so, I sigh. They're pretty mean, huh? Yeah, I think so too, she agrees. Are we going home? Yeah, but you were looking forward to this trip, I say, trying to hold it together. Only because it's with you, Mom. If we're going home, I'm going home too. Then let's go on an adventure together, I suggest, my heart lifting at the thought of just being with her. Adventure? Her carefree smile is everything I need right now. I contact my friend Ava, who lives nearby, and tell her what happened. She picks us up and takes us home. Once Maya is asleep, Ava asks, "So, what are you going to do?" "I think I'm getting a divorce," I reply quietly. "Good, you've put up with enough." "Yeah, and I don't want this kind of husband anymore. He's hurting our daughter." I open the drawer and pull out the divorce papers. Ava agrees to sign as a witness. My mother-in-law's name is already written in the other witness box, and just like that, I'm done. I wasted no time filing for divorce. Just 3 days after returning home from the service area, I dropped my daughter off at kindergarten and my phone rang. "You've got to be kidding me. You're the one with the problem. Why haven't you paid for the hotel?" My husband shouted. "You're the one who left me. You should have paid for everything up front." "Really?" I retorted. "Why should it cost $6,000 for the hotel? It's all to fulfill your mother's every whim. You get over here with the money, and do it fast." "I'm not paying. You're the one left behind. I didn't even want to go on that trip," he snapped. "You and your mother had a great time. Why don't you two split the cost? That's $3,000 each." Just then, a woman's voice interrupted from the other side of the phone. "It's time to pay," she said. "I'll call the police if you don't." "My wife will take care of it. She's on her way here now," my husband quickly replied. "Where is she?" the woman asked. "At home," I answered, "but I checked your address, and it's a long way from here. You left her stranded at the service area, and now you're asking her to come just to pay?" "Listen, I've been friends with your wife since high school," the woman said, her voice growing defensive. "I was the one who picked her and your daughter up from the service area. I asked my old friend for help with this trip, and she offered me a free stay at her hotel. Back then, she was struggling. Her family owned a prestigious hotel, but she had bigger dreams, and as the only daughter, she had to take over the hotel. She's always said I helped her through it, so she felt she owed me, and now she's repaying me by offering the hotel. I told her she didn't need to pay, and that she could stay at the hotel, but she's not here, and I have no personal connection to you. You're just guests at the hotel, so you'll need to pay the full amount." "Fine," I said, trying to stay calm. "Why don't you just put it on your credit card for now, and my wife will pay you back later?" "I don't want to do that," my husband replied. "It's not that you don't want to, it's that you can't," the woman said, her tone sharp. "What do you mean?" I asked. "Your husband's salary is $1,200 a month," she said. "His credit card limit is $3,000 at most." "Excuse me?" I said, confused. "Your husband lied about his salary. He said he was making good money," the woman added, her voice full of scorn. My husband fell silent. "He's a salesman," the woman explained. "If he gets a contract, he gets an incentive, but he hardly ever gets any, so he only earns the minimum guaranteed salary, which is nowhere near enough to afford this." "Don't tell me he's going to pay from his savings, the savings for the divorce, child support, and alimony?" she scoffed. "What the hell are you talking about?" I replied. "I filed for divorce. Didn't he say he'd divorce me any time? I filed for it the same day he threatened me, so if we're not married anymore." "Wait a minute," he interrupted, sounding alarmed. "I won't wait," I said, firmly. My husband eventually promised to pay in installments. After Ava, my friend, stepped in, I hired an attorney and filed for custody of my daughter, child support, and alimony. I moved my daughter back to my parents' house. One of Ava's regulars, an executive at my husband's company, called him out on his inability to pay the hotel bill. That executive made sure my husband settled it. My mother-in-law, who had gone through her own divorce when my husband was in middle school, tried to intervene. She contacted me, asking me to reconsider the divorce, claiming my ex-husband needed to be taken care of. I couldn't believe her nerve, especially after everything she put me through. My ex-husband also called, telling me that our daughter needed a father and suggesting we remarry and live together. But I had seen how little he actually cared for her. She's thriving now with my parents, and I'm not going to disrupt her life for his selfishness. After the divorce, my ex-husband returned to his mother's house. He had poor work performance and lacked any long-term planning. His inability to pay for the trip became widely known at work, making him feel small and insignificant. Next weekend, I'm taking my daughter to this house hotel. I've also started a new job to secure a better future for us. It's been a while since I worked, but this feels more fulfilling than my old marriage ever did. The idea that children need both parents together doesn't apply to us. What's more important is having parents who are happy and at peace. I've learned so much from this divorce, and the one thing that hasn't changed is my dedication to my daughter. With her, I know I can give my best, no matter where we go. As for my ex-husband, I wonder where he gets all his confidence from. Either way, I know the divorce was the right decision. I'm thankful for my wonderful daughter, and for the friends who stood by me. Now, I'm looking forward to a peaceful future, and I hope we can continue to build a life where she and I can truly thrive.